Hello, this is Truth Be Told Transformation, and I'm Bonnie Burkert, here to share tools for transformation to live your highest truth. One thing that's true for me is that I've always been really interested in Chinese metaphysics, and I remember the first time I ever figured out my Chinese astrological sign was at a Chinese restaurant, and they have the menus and they would show your birth year, and I was a dragon. So I found out about Master Clarice because she will be appearing at the 2024 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, February 9th through 12th. So Master Clarice, you're looking forward to coming to see us in Los Angeles.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'll be flying in on the 7th. It's a long flight, but that's okay. I always look forward to coming to Los Angeles for the Conscious Life Expo. I've been coming to the show since 2015. So, I'll be meeting a lot of familiar friends and making new friends as well. So, yes, it's very exciting.
Amazing. Maybe we've seen each other there because I also, we don't miss it. In fact, Tony Sweet and the whole team was there last year. So I think it's really going to be great. So what do you think? I'd like to ask, let's just talk about Conscious Life and your offering. So you will be teaching a class on both astrology and Feng Shui while you're there, right? Those are your areas of expertise.
Yes, that's right. I'll be doing a workshop known as the Riding the Dragon, because it's the Year of the Dragon. That's my free workshop at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Now, in the workshop, I'll be talking about introducing the year 2024, the Yang Wood Dragons. And I will talk about the Feng Shui of the year, how you align your space to benefit the energy of from the energy of the year, and also touching on the zodiac sign for the 12 zodiac sign for the participants.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the Year of the Dragon. Now, I am a dragon, so I'm pretty fired up about this. Get it? Fire.
Yes. But you're wood dragons.
So, I mean, this is going to be a good year. Just, stand by. All the more reason people have to watch. So, Master Clarice, I'm a dragon, there's certain aspects that it's going to mean good things for me or whatever it means for me. What does it mean for other people that aren't dragons? What are some of the qualities of the year? How does one work with Chinese astrology to understand the energies of the year for them in different signs?
Right. So for 2024, we have the Yang Wood Dragon. So we usually describe, or rather the years is described with one of the 5 elements. So there are 5 types of dragon. You have a wood dragon, fire dragon, water dragon. 2012 was water dragons. You have metal dragon and earth dragon. So these are the 5 elements, and they have sometimes a productive cycle, which is like water produce wood, wood produce fire. Or you can have what we call a destructive cycle, which is the wood piercing into the ground, which is also representing the dragon, because the dragon belongs to the earth element. So that is what we call a destructive cycle, but it doesn't always mean that it's negative, because for a wood element, the earth is the wealth element. So you can say that it's actually productive for anybody that belongs to the wood element. But to know whether which element you belong to, it depends on the day that you're born. Not necessarily just the year. So you could be born on a water day, or a fire day, or a wood, or a metal, or an earth day. So, and what happens then is all the other elements will have a special to you. Unfortunately, if I want to know what day you're born, I actually have to do a calculation. But for the year, for example, we can just look at what are the good elements for the year. So being a wood dragon, what's good for them will be the earth elements. It will also be a little bit of fire element, because fire is like sunlight, fire is like enthusiasm. It's the joy and it's the vibrancy around you. So that's much needed. And also water element.
Okay, so you're saying the water element is needed?
Yes, water element.
And this is for anybody during a dragon year.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
because it's the young. Okay, let's break down a little part of it. It's the young. It's the young wood dragon.
Wood dragon.
And young
wood is like a big oak tree, standing on a mountain. The dragon is often being represented by the mountain. In Chinese astrology, it's a young earth, which is very big earth, so it is considered like a mountain.
Yeah. Oh,
so you do need water.
So you need water
for the tree to grow, and you need the sunlight for the fire. And that's where the fire element comes in.
Okay.
But for the young wood, for the wood, then the fire is the energy you put out. So your creativity, your talent, your passion. And that's going to give you the earth element, because fire produces earth, and that is your wealth element. So in order for you to do well, or for a dragon person to do well, a young wood dragon person to do well, they do have to be more creative. They do have to put out their energy into the world in order to tap into the benefits.
Right on. I feel like that's what I'm doing right here. I mean, that works out great.
You are. Yes, you are. But dragons are usually very dynamic. They're charismatic. They are intelligent. They're strong. They have strong personality. Very hardworking. Usually moving at a very fast pace. Does that describe you?
I would dare say it is just required of, yes, absolutely. And so when you describe those qualities of a dragon person, again, does that mean the dragon year is going to be like this?
Yes, in many ways, because it's a very young energy, it's very active. So unlike the yin energy, everything is moving, but it's subtle. But for the yang energy, it's like it's all out there. Now, if you want to make a move, it's out there. You're showing the world who you are. So the year is definitely going to be more dynamic, going to be more vibrant. But of course, along with that, you have the tip side, which is like, unforeseen events. You have events moving at a faster pace, incidences and so forth.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. Okay. So you said the previous year of the dragon was 2012.
Yes, that's
right. And then we've gone through all the other signs, sheep and monkey and rooster and ram. And we've gone through all the signs, dog.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So
dog,
2012, which was like a big year. I mean, right? I mean, it was like.
2012 was a big year.
It was a big year. And it was a dragon year. I mean, it was just like, it's so interesting. Like, is it a big year because it was a dragon year? I mean, the 2012 was, it was the start of the Aquarian age by the point of astrologers. So I guess what I want to say is it's kind of like a really interesting intersection of Eastern Chinese astrology with a lot of Western astrology in terms of importance, energy.
Okay. Well, it is a big year because, 2012 was a big year of water dragons. But now in 2024, it's also a brand new Feng Shui cycle. The Feng Shui cycle runs in 20-year cycles. And we had what we call period 8 from 2004 right up to 2023. And now we're in 2024. We have a brand new cycle known as the period 9.
Period 9.
Period 8 was, period 8 was very much an earth energy period. It was people were more focused on the material side of life. And it also, in I Ching, it represents the gun trigrams. And that is talking about young men. So you see a lot of young men rising up and becoming very successful and rich.
Right. I mean, that so describes all these young tech entrepreneur millionaires, right?
Exactly.
Wow. How interesting.
Now, you're gonna be excited about this because this period 9 is the Li trigram that's describing women.
Mm-hmm.
So it is also like the Aquarian age, isn't it? And the Aquarian age also talks about innovation, the digital world, but not only AI. It's exactly what period 9 is about.
Okay.
Period 8 was material. Period 9 is what you can perceive but not see.
Oh
so
my God,
about
that's
things
so...
like, entertainment, talking about spirituality. That's very exciting, because people will get more interested into what they can't see. And then in the material world, you're talking about digital currency, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. These are going to start growing so much. And also AI.
Yeah.
And anything, when I talk about entertainment, we're also talking about like the social media platforms, the digital platforms like we are on Zoom, or any other, many other platforms that is going to start rising up. But it's what's going to be prominent are the women that's going to be, upfront this time.
Okay. Well, and interestingly, talking about the Aquarian age, right, which has been transitioning, was at a really pivotal point in 2012. And then, right, so we brought that up. And then here we are at this juncture. You're saying that this is, similarly, it's all aligning. And I think that because what I've heard about moving into the Aquarian age, I mean, it takes a long time. That's a huge age. So we're in the early stages of it, but we're starting to, because it's been since 2012, 12 years. Is that possible? It's starting to really kick in, like feel it. And women coming into, I don't know, a better power, if you will. I don't want to sound like dominance over men or anything like that.
No.
But I think
it's coming to balance, really.
Yeah.
So, coming to balance.
I know, what I've been referencing the Barbie movie, but that was like, I mean, that seems like it's just sort of part of what's happening right now with messages around that. I don't know if you saw the Barbie movie, but
I have seen the Barbie.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
But I love it.
I mean, so I think it's really interesting. I'm going to make a quick comment about 2004, which was when period 8 started. That was when I moved to California, and so my whole working world changed. Like my career kind of changed at that point. So it's been really interesting to look at some of the points you're making are really poignant to me, and then also I'm pulling out some examples for others as well.
So you talk about that 12-year cycle. That's like I was on the astrology panel for a few years, and that's moderated by Shiva Moore, the co-founder.
Yeah, sure.
Expo.
Yeah, she's been on the show.
And the one of the first conversation I had with her when I went on the panel was she came to ask me to tell us about the Jupiter return. And because it's the first time I'm on the astrology panel, and I'm thinking Chinese astrology. And then with that question, I just went, there's no such thing. Then it took about 30 seconds and said, of course there's such a thing. One Jupiter return is 12 years for us. Because each year, the dragon or the pig or the tiger or zodiac becomes the grand use Jupiter. And that is not just in zodiac. The house, for example, for your end space, you have a grand Jupiter direction.
Ah.
So for 2024, you have the Yang wood dragon. It's located in the southeast, and that's your grand Jupiter direction. So usually we do not like to disturb the area, so we discourage any form of noise or like renovations directly to that sector of the house in the year of the grand Jupiter. So for this year, it will be southeast.
Southeast. Okay, so help me understand that a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to request just a double check of your mic, just because I don't want to miss anything that you're sharing. So let's just tweak that mic, that make sure that everything is sounding okay. And Tony Sweet here in the studio is giving me the thumbs up. So we're good. Okay, so Master Clarice, explain a little bit more about the Feng Shui. So you're mentioning the southeast corner of our homes, yes?
Yes.
So
yes,
what should we do? I mean, should we get a little dragon and put it in there? What are we doing?
Yes, you can, because the dragon becomes the boss of the year, king of the year, the grand Jupiter. So of course you can place the dragon there, and that is the natal position. What are the natal direction for the dragon? So that will enhance the area. What the southeast also represents is wood. So it's wood energy, which is why we have a wood dragon also.
Okay, so if you can find a dragon carved out of wood, bonus points.
You can.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can put dragons, you can put plants there. Because it's the wood energy, you want to enhance the wood energy. Of course, you have a little, if you want to put a little aquarium, it is also positive because water, it dries the wood, it heats the wood.
Right. So you were mentioning that water is important to this year. So
yes,
specifically, so we'll go into, okay, but wait. So we go into, all right. So we just figure out the southeast corner of our home. Like it could be your kitchen or something like that. Right.
Okay.
So
right. Let's stick with just the living room, because that's the big energy, right? You walk into your house, and that's your living room.
Right.
And you divide that, and you stand in the center of that living room, and you look at your directions. So it could be the corner where your TVs, your sofa, or your window, where there's a window, or it could be, just anywhere, anywhere in that area. You have to divide that space. If you look at it in a rectangle, you have to divide that space into 8 parts. So you have north, south, east, and west, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest. So you have to divide that into from a rectangle or a square point.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you look for where the compass point southeast. It's not just a line, but it's a sector. So that square of the southeast will be the grand location, and that's where you can energize with wood and water.
Interesting. Okay. I love playing with that. Now, let's talk about Feng Shui. Believe it or not, I've done many shows, but I haven't had too many Feng Shui specialists on, not at all. So I think you need to give us your, an overarching view of it, and give me a hard time about decluttering while you're at it. Just tell me.
Okay.
Wood dragon,
Feng Shui. Yeah. Okay. Feng Shui is about working with the energy around you, right? It's to bring in the positive energy. So let's say, for example, your front door. Very important. A lot of people clutter their front door. That's where they put their children. But if you have clutter at the door area, and it's supposed to be your positive or your wealth direction, or your saving direction, and then you open the door and fill with clutter, that's not going to help. Your clutter is going to get favors instead of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to have a clear pathway into your house. And of course, if you have lots of clutter around, well, I want this. I think people just can be a bit untidy. It's not necessarily clutter. You just have to put them, in their respective places, keep it tidy. It's not about not having things, but it's to keep the space, kind of make it sacred to you.
Yes.
Because every direction has a meaning. Like, the Li fire, talking about the Li dragon, belongs to the south. So the south direction talks about fame and recognition. So if you want fame and you want recognition, then you need to keep that space free of clutter.
Okay.
And also energize it. And then southeast belongs to the Xinhua, which is in Egypt it's known as Xin, S-U-N. And that is the direction of the wood. That's where you can energize the plants, you can have music, you can have you have light, like I said, you have water. Obviously you can have your sofa, wood furniture and so forth, but just make it favorable for you and for that person.
Right.
Yeah. One important space in the home is also the northwest. The northwest is what is traditionally known as the patriarch position or location. It is also the direction where we receive blessings from God. So if that area is being cluttered or not, if you place elements that are unsuitable there, then you're not going to get a lot of blessings, so to speak. But it also affects money. It affects your finances. If married, it affects your husband. So if you're not married, it's also affecting you because you may not be able to find a husband, so to speak. So now, one important area that we need to take care in 2024 is the direction of the west. I work with Flying Star Feng Shui, and in 2020, it's all in my book, by the way. In 2024, we have a misfortune star. It's actually going to be located west. So we would encourage people to actually place more metallic ornaments in the west. Of course, in Feng Shui terms, we would use like a 6-rod wind chime. These are some to kind of mitigate the area to make it less peaceful for the people of the home. So that is very important. And like you also talk about the north, which is one of the most prosperous direction from 2024. That's the wealth direction of the period 9. So the north belongs to a water element. So water, obviously water is good if you have water in the north, and then you know that you're going to have prosperous time coming out. The south is the place, it's the next most prosperous location in this 20 years, and the southeast. So the north, the south, and the southeast are very important in your home. And it seems like they north and southeast requires water elements. And then the south usually, we talk about the south, we're talking about fire. But in this year, because there are other styles involved in the south, we do not encourage too much fire.
Okay. Wait, can you repeat that last part again? Because
the south has other stars that is coming in. Right. That is does not like too much fire.
Okay.
So it would be good not to over-energize the area, so to speak.
Okay.
But to balance it out, you can actually put place something blue.
Something blue. All right.
Yes, like a blue floor mat, table runners, or a ribbon, so forth. These are just very simple cures that are.
Wow, this is so amazing. Now you said that we could kind of focus on the living room, but you could extend this to your entire, per floor. Yes. Depending on where.
See, every sector or every individual space is considered, because it's an actual space. It's you can place that, I talk about that triangle. I'm sorry, excuse me. I talk about that rectangle of dividing into the 8 directions. You can apply that to an individual rooms and take care of it.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Oh, so much to do. I mean, my goodness, I could just spend the entire year of the dragon doing nothing but feng shuiing my home properly. I can say.
Yes,
it's just like some really fascinating stuff. So what's been your personal experience with this? I mean, as a master of feng shui, does it affect like where you choose to live, the type of home that you've selected to be in, as well as what you've done with it? I mean, what's your personal...
Yeah. You should talk to my property agent about that. I have to live where I live now, where I'm living now. I looked at 40 apartments.
Yeah.
And to find what I would consider or what feng shui would consider to be a good home for.
Right. I mean,
so and also decorating it, I literally tear out and we renovate everything that is in there.
So you've been
and then every year I have to look at a flying star. As to where is the grand location, where is the prosperous direction. I work according with the feng shui energy to build a more positive home and year for myself. And that's why I can get to go to Conscious Life Expo.
Well, there you go. It's clearly working for you. For sure. No, I love that. So you've been doing this for a while, Master Clarice. Tell me, I mean, do you feel that the world is opening up to Chinese metaphysics, the Feng Shui, astrology?
I think so. Yes, I think so. I think, in fact, it started, about 2004 onwards. That's when, Feng Shui really got to the West and got to the rest of the world. And then with the digital world, with the digital text, it just makes everything more open to and accessible to us. Whereas in the ancient days, old days, the people deal with those feng shui is mainly for the rich because that's only they can afford it. But now the information is all out there.
Yeah, I mean it's really great. So one of the things I always like to ask people is, what do you think, where are we at? What is the state of the world? Now, I feel that there's so many people that are opening up to all of these. Like, for example, 20 years ago, maybe people didn't understand about Year of the Dragon or little concepts around, maybe they've heard of feng shui, but not some of the concepts of what one would do. So I feel like people are so much more open to it. And look, we've got a show with, thousands of viewers every week. Here are viewers and listeners every week. People are open to it. And yet it feels like, it's tough out there. It's kind of a crazy world. People are very angsty, mad, bad. So what do you make of it all?
Well, okay. We mentioned about period 9 being fire. Fire does not shape it. It's also elusive, like a crystalline thing. It can create a very romantic energy for you, but a big fire will be. But you see, the people will be more interested in looking at the softer side of things.
Okay.
In these 20 days. Because they will be more interested to find out what's behind. Because remember, they want to know what is unseen. They don't just want to know what is in front of us. They want to know what's behind us. So that's where spirituality will grow, and then you have this, the lifting of the veil, or look beyond the veil, so to speak. So people will be more interested in that. But on the other sense, you look at the yang wood dragon, it's like tree, very strong, think of the energy of wood like a huge tree. Then it's strong, it's upward growth, it's very rigid. You can't bend a tree, you can bend a plant, but you can't bend a tree. So you talk about a crazy world. Unfortunately, there's going to be some crazy people around that's going to be standing there on that mountain, and they're not going to budge. Like I want country this way, or I want the land this way, or the people to be this way. They're not going to budge. That's where we come from. And also because in Feng Shui you have the annual sign chart 3 flying to the Middle East, to the center of the grid. So the center of the grid will be like, if you look at the globe, then it will be something like the Middle East. And it's a conflict start. You can see there are a lot of conflicts around there. So that, unfortunately, is not going to resolve very quickly.
Well, I guess we just have to be patient with it, and patient and wise.
Yes, but there's also other energy. I mean, the earth. That's why fire is important. Fire, you kind of, when you feed wood with fire, it becomes, earth, ash.
Right.
So that's when things come down. It's only when eventually things will come down. It's only when things come down. Other elements will come. So you should have a lot of patience. People need to have more patience in 2024 in order for the world to be affected.
Okay. No, it's interesting. Thank you. It's an interesting point of view for sure, and it's fun to always hear what other speakers have to say, but this is a unique perspective and I appreciate that very much. So tell us about working with you. So obviously if you're able to attend the Conscious Life Expo in February, the weekend of February 9th in Los Angeles, you can meet Master Clarice, but also I know you've got a book and you do personal consultations, correct? So tell us about your book for one, and then how you work with people. So tell us about your book.
Okay, my book is divided into 3 sections. Number one section, the main section is about Chinese New Year and traditions around it, how to use, because Chinese New Year is based on lunar, it's like a lunar New Year, so it's a lunar cycle. So it's the beginning of spring. So it's not just for Chinese. Anyone can use the dates and the times that indicated in this to make your year, to start your year positively, because we believe in starting every year positively to bring good energy to you and having a very good start. So that's one section of it. Okay. And the next section of it, we talked a lot about it. It's Feng Shui, how to align space. And then the other section is about the 12 zodiac signs. So I have a month-to-month, month-by-month predictions. I have indicated the pros and cons that people can use as a guide for the year. And so that's pretty much what the book is about.
Excellent. And it's specifically for 2024? The book is new for this year?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that's
everything
great.
I wrote in there is pertaining to 2024. Of course, I have other information that is related to Chinese astrology for what do you call that? For reference, for personal Feng Shui reference. And I have I have a couple of pages on how to buy, a good property, to buy a good house for you or a good apartment, and also how the different trades will be doing in our nation.
Excellent. So what sign are you?
I'm the sign of the ox.
Okay. And what was what happened for you in the year of the ox? Like, is it okay? Let me see if I can ask this question succinctly.
Okay.
So, I heard that in Chinese astrology, if it's your year, it doesn't mean like it's going to be the best year ever. It's almost
Correct.
more of a chance to grow, or maybe the qualities that you have in your sign are there for you to learn from or challenge you even. Do I have that
yes,
right?
I think that every time is your year is more like a transformation.
Okay. And there can be growing pains. I see.
Yes, that can be growing. So you have to look at your, the first thing we look at will be our well-being. So we take very good care of our well-being when it is our year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, and then we can, once we are well, we can do anything we want. But we have to look at our relationship, like for example, I'm an ox and the year is a dragon. I have to look at my relationship astrologically, Chinese, basic Chinese astrology. What's the relationship?
I see.
Now that's, unfortunately, that is a clashing relationship, but is that going to be bad? Not necessarily, because like we said, it's a challenge. So yes, but what are the challenges we're going to face?
Right.
So when Earth face, because the ox is an Earth energy, the dragon is also an Earth energy. While it is competitive, eventually it will still come to balance because Earth is Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that challenge, you will get, you can get positive results. But of course, if you are headstrong and start to go against that energy, then you're going to get hurt. So one thing about the Chinese astrology system is that each of the animals belong to a certain group of the 5 elements. So the dragon, the ox, the goat, and the dog, they belong to earth elements. And in that year, these are also what we know as the clashing signs. So there's a conflict between these earth signs and the dragon, another. So for these 4 signs, it's very important for them to take care of their well-being, for them not to draw too much attention to themselves. I know it's kind of like conflicting because if you are in the media, but also that's only the year because you're born in that year. Yes, there are other, elements that you have to look at. It's not always going to be that. For example, if you're a dragon and you're born in a dragon, there is a possibility of move and change in your environment. So, and you could travel a bit more, for example. Do you travel?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yes. So move and travel are indicated if you are born in that same year. There's also another thing to take note of is that the year of the dog, people who are born in the year of the dog, especially, as well as all the other earth signs, should reduce or try to avoid adventurous trips in 2020.
Okay, good tips.
So I'm talking about adventurous trips. I'm talking about like climbing the mountain. So-called.
Right.
It's mountaineering. So you've got to. They have to reduce that activity because the chances of that getting hurt is indicated.
So much to know. It's fascinating. I love it. I think you're going to have to come back more when I'm better educated on Feng Shui and we'll get into a further deep dive. I think it's so interesting. And
yes, I mean, we can only talk so much.
Oh, my gosh.
Zoom into.
You've given us many tips. Now, you've given us many tips, Master Clarice. And, I thank you for your wisdom and sharing, your generous sharing of this. And I wish you safe travels and hope to see you, in Los Angeles for sure. I know Tony Sweet's going to be at the Expo, so I know you'll see him.
I look forward to meeting you and Tony. I'm sure we have met already. But
I think we may have, because like I said, I've probably been hovering around your lectures for years. If that's how long you've been going, because that's how long I've been interested in this. Thank you again.
Okay.
And happy year, happy new year, happy year of the wood dragon.
Happy New Year.
I'm
Thank
fired
you.
up.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Huh?
Take good care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, everyone. Year of the Dragon. I mean, how can it not be, full of light and power? Okay. And that's what we're here to share with you. Tony Sweet has episodes every Friday live, pulling the community together to talk to him and the experts that he has on. So come and join him 3 p.m. on Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, and watch for Robert Hensley's Minuteman Report. Also every week. I am Bonnie Burkert, and just here to find experts that will help us find new ways to live happier, brighter. And I am very glad that you've been listening, and hope that you will share and follow and like and comment if you feel moved to. Until the next time, I invite you to shine on, and thank you again for listening.